The Storm and Sharks face off in the qualifying final this Saturday. I'm Darcie McDonald, joined by former Panther and Rabbitoh Josh Mansour to preview this game. And Josh, Melbourne have been the standout team throughout the season. But as they say, it's a new competition come September. So how will they fare starting at home against the Sharks?
I think the worst thing the Melbourne Storm can do is take this Cronulla-Sharks team lightly. Like, I know they got back Nico Hines, had a pretty convincing win, an upset win against the Manly Seagulls last week. And it's funny because the Cronulla-Sharks always play better when they're the underdog. And if you recall, earlier this year, Melbourne got beaten by the Sharks. The Sharks are one of two sides to beat them down in Melbourne this season. So obviously with Cameron Munster back in the side as well, I think week by week we're seeing more of his running game coming out. And I thought with Jerome Hughes now obviously being their main game playmaker, I thought he was going to take a bit of the running game out of his game, but we didn't see that against the Broncos. They absolutely ran riot.
Scored a hat-trick, didn't he?
Exactly.
He just gets better and better.
I know.
Ryan Papenhuyzen returns for Melbourne, while Cameron Munster is looking more and more like his usual self after missing much of the regular season through injury. How important is their combination for the Storm?
Extremely important. I think Ryan Papenhuyzen, like his speed, him popping out in those tight places, like it makes him one of the most lethal fullbacks in the game. Obviously, he's coming off an injury, so a bit of question marks and see how healthy he is going into this game. But look for Papenhuyzen to be linking up with Munster, definitely.
All right. Well, over to the Sharks, and that was a convincing win over Manly last week, despite the fact the Seagulls had a lot to play for. Coach Craig Fitzgibbon would have to be pretty happy with that type of form heading into the finals.
They're just going to be consistent.
Right.
I think they have to have the same game plan and mentality where they first did when they played Melbourne earlier this season. You know, they got the side to do it. I think they're the healthiest roster in the top 8 at the moment. They played a very aggressive style of football last week, and Melbourne need to do a job in their back five. I think the back five for Cronulla-Sharks have been the best in the competition this year. But Nico Hines as well, obviously the spotlight's going to be on him. How is he going to handle the big moments? He hasn't been able to live up to that this year, but this is a perfect opportunity against obviously the minor premiers in the Melbourne Storm down in Melbourne.
And up against his former club too. What a time to make a statement.
Exactly right, so it has to be personal.
Has to be. Cronulla snapped a 5-game losing streak at Amy Park by winning earlier this season. Can they replicate that with another upset, or will the minor premiers just be simply too good?
Geez, I feel like there could be an upset. I really do. Like I said, the Cronulla-Sharks play their best football when their backs are against the wall and they're the underdogs. And I feel like Nico Hines can make a statement this week. With that said, Melbourne Storm are just way too consistent. You know, they've been the most sustainable team in the competition to date. They're playing in Melbourne, and I can't see Melbourne losing 2 games in a row against Cronulla-Sharks at home. So I'm going to tip Melbourne. They're
hard to tip against, aren't
exactly.
they? Yeah, thanks, Josh. If you want to see the match live, head to nrl.com/tickets. If you can't get to the game, remember you can still watch it on Channel 9, Foxtel, Sky New Zealand or KO. Kickoff is at 4:05 p.m.